The cafe was louder than usual. Too many voices, too many stares. I almost turned around. Single dad life had taught me one thing: avoid situations that invite questions. And today, with my 6-year-old daughter Emma tugging my sleeve, I just wanted coffee and 5 minutes of peace. That's when I saw her. She was struggling with the door. People walked past. Some pretended not to notice. Others noticed and still kept walking. I hesitated, not because I didn't want to help, but because I was tired of getting it wrong. Before I could move, my daughter whispered, "Daddy, why is no one helping her?" That question hit harder than any judgment ever could. I stepped forward and held the door open. She looked up at me, surprised, then smiled softly. "Thank you," she said. I nodded. "No problem." She rolled inside, guiding her wheelchair with practiced ease. I followed, helping her to a table near the window. As she settled in, she looked at me again, this time more carefully. Then she said it quiet, honest, not apologetic. "Sorry, I'm in a wheelchair." The cafe seemed to freeze. I didn't know yet that what I did next would change her life, my daughter's life, and eventually mine. But in that moment, I only knew one thing. This wasn't an apology, and it didn't need to be. I didn't rush to respond. It's not because I was uncomfortable, but because I wanted my answer to matter. I smiled and said the first thing that felt real. "You don't need to apologize," I said. "My daughter and I are just glad you're here." She blinked just once, like she wasn't expecting that. My daughter climbed onto the chair beside me and waved. "I'm Emma," she said proudly. "My dad makes the best pancakes." That made her laugh. A genuine laugh, the kind that surprises even the person laughing. "I'm Sarah," she said. I wish I could confirm the pancake claim. I stood up. "Stay right here. I'll fix that." When I came back with 3 plates instead of 2, she looked confused. "Oh, I didn't order." "I did," I said. "For you." She hesitated. "You really don't have to." "I want to," I said simply. Something shifted, not in the room, but in her. She wasn't being treated like a problem, or an obligation, or a moment of charity. She was just included. As we ate, she told us how people often spoke around her instead of to her, how dates turned into awkward interviews, how sorry had become the word everyone expected her to accept. My daughter listened quietly. Then she asked, "Does your wheelchair ever get tired?" Sarah laughed again. Emma nodded, especially uphill. Emma nodded seriously. "That's okay. My dad gets tired too." I felt my throat tighten. That's when Sarah looked at me and said softly, "You know, most people help for a second and disappear." I met her eyes. "We're not in a hurry," and I meant it. I didn't know yet that this simple decision, staying, was about to open doors neither of us had planned to walk through. We stayed longer than we planned. Coffee turned into conversation. Conversation turned into comfort. The cafe emptied, but something between us filled the space. Sarah told me about the accident. It's not for sympathy, just context. One rainy night, one driver looking at a phone, one moment that split life in two, before and after. "I didn't lose my life," she said quietly. "I just had to learn a new way to live it." Emma listened like it mattered because it did. Then my phone buzzed. A message from daycare. "Running late again." I sighed. Sarah noticed. "Single dad?" she asked. "Yeah, Mom passed 3 years ago." Her smile faded, but her respect didn't. "That explains the patience," she said. "And the pancakes?" I laughed, but something heavy sat in my chest. Emma broke the silence. "Do you want to come to the park with us sometime?" she asked Sarah. "There's a path that's smooth. Daddy always checks." I froze. Parents learn fast when to correct their kids. This wasn't one of those times. Sarah looked down at her hands. "Are you sure?" she asked softly. Emma nodded. "Everyone should get invited." Sarah looked at me, unsure. I nodded back. "She's right." That's when her eyes filled. Not with sadness, but with something rarer. Relief. "I'd like that," she said. As we stood to leave, people watched again, but this time it was different. We weren't helping. We weren't rescuing. We were walking out together. And I realized something that stopped me cold. This wasn't a random meeting. It was the start of something none of us knew how to name yet. The park was quiet that afternoon, the kind of quiet that lets truth surface. Emma ran ahead, her laughter echoing down the smooth path I always chose without thinking why I chose it. Sarah noticed. "You plan routes?" she said. I nodded. "For a long time it was just us. You learn to think ahead." She smiled. "Most people don't." We sat on a bench. Emma played nearby, collecting leaves like they were treasure. Sarah took a breath. "Can I be honest?" she asked. "Always." "I almost didn't come today," she said. "Not because of you, because of the looks, the explaining. It's the way people decide who I am before I open my mouth." I didn't interrupt, she continued. "But your daughter didn't see any of that. She just saw me." Emma suddenly ran back and handed Sarah a leaf. "This one's strong," she said. "Didn't tear." Sarah held it like it mattered. It did. A man walking his dog stared too long, then whispered something to his friend. I saw Sarah's shoulders tense. Without thinking, I moved my chair closer to hers. Not protective, present. If they were going to stare, they'd stare at us. Sarah exhaled. "Thank you," she said. Not loudly, not emotionally, just real. That's when Emma said something that changed the air. "Daddy, can Sarah come to dinner?" I looked at Sarah. She looked at me. The world paused right there between yes and no. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel afraid of what people might think. I felt afraid of missing something that mattered. I smiled. "I think that's a wonderful idea." Sarah's eyes widened. "You're serious?" "Completely." I didn't know it yet, but that dinner would rewrite everything I thought I knew about family. It was the first page of a new chapter, one that started not with an apology, but with pancakes, a strong leaf, and the simple kindness of a child. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more.